That's true.
Call the meeting to order. Please rise for the pledge of allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Call for the acceptance of the minutes of August 23rd, 2022 meeting.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Discussion. All those in favor? Opposed? No one? Motion carries. Public forum for this evening. No one. We'll move on. Reports and correspondence from myself. I'd like to thank the board members that all the board members actually for coming to the events this past week, orientation, those that could make it, and those who came to the barbecue and work. We put John and Iris to work very, they did a lot of work at the barbecue. Yes, the barbecue went over. I thought it was a great success. Also like to thank Patty Steinhoff. I know she doesn't like to be thanked, but too bad Patty had the mic. Thank you for all the hard work you did in setting it up and coordinating with Wilson's Market and getting everything together. Everything was fantastic. So once again, from the board, Patty, thank you. And that is, and the school looked wonderful. They'll always look great. And I'd like to thank the staff and welcome back all the teachers. That's it for me. Anybody else? John?
Yes, just on the Hall of Fame, again, we're closing in on that. We've ordered the plaques, the sign, we're making contacts with all the inductees and the people speaking for them, and it's really going to have to come together in the next month. While you're thanking people, I think Kim Orr in the athletic director's office and Ron Chasen have really been very helpful in getting those types of things done. And I agree with you, Mr. President, the lunch that we had with the faculty and staff was really well, except for I got asked if I could go to their house and serve the rest of the week. I didn't know if that was part of it.
You will take orders. Anybody else? Okay, if not, we will move on to, our student rep is not here. Our student rep this year is Mr. Jack Henry. Look forward to having him here. Superintendent Lisa Watts.
So just a few things. Students returned today. Staff came back last Thursday and Friday. As Phil said, it was a great opening Thursday and Friday. Today was a great opening with the students. I had the opportunity to walk through the buildings. And it was a few glitches here and there, but overall a really good return to school. I did include in the packet, and we will start sharing some of this information out on our website, TV and radio station, and also social media. Some of the information that was in the Welcome Back PowerPoint presentation, the slide deck that was in your packet, really summarizes I shared with the staff that it's so easy over the last couple of years to really focus on all the obstacles and the things that didn't go as well as we would have liked. But when you really sit back and you take a list of everything that we did do, it is significant and impressive. So that's what's in the presentation. So we're going to start rolling this out in pieces to the public also to show everyone, what's happened and what's on deck for next year. All our new staff is listed there. It talks about the PD. It really it was done as a team, and it's a good document to take a look at where we were and where we're going. So that is in your packet, and we will have that posted up. I do want to tell the board, probably at the next meeting, we'll have a resolution. We are in the process of planning for a 5:45 bus during basketball season, so the gyms are tight, and we are not going to be able to use the elementary school gym that lasts from 2:45 to like 3:40. There's a class that we have. The gym has to be used for PE classes that period due to scheduling issues. So that is going to have an impact on our basketball practices. So we are going to have that information in the next packet, but watch for that. in order to have practices, we're working on a plan which we'll include in the next packet. And I also just really wanted to thank the board. You know, we have our staff in place. We're still looking for a music teacher, a foreign language teacher, and an elementary special ed long-term leave replacement. But, you know, over the course of this pandemic and the years, the board's been very supportive of the administrators and the whole school and our students. And it's really showing in that PowerPoint presentation. And, you know, advocating for the staff barbecue, we really appreciate it very much. I know the staff does. And there was a really good feeling and vibe when we came back on Thursday and Friday and today. So feeling really great about this year, rolling into a year with more normalcy.
Thank you. Also, I neglected to mention, it goes without saying, but thank you to all the administrators that also were in the serving line and participated in the barbecue as well. So without you guys helping us, it would not have been as successful as it was. So thank you to all the administrators. We will now move on to Assistant Superintendent of Business, Mr. Napoli.
I have nothing to report tonight. Thank you.
Thank you. Deputy Superintendent Kelly White.
Good evening. I just wanted to reiterate to the school community our commitments for our school improvement plans for the 22-23 school year. You'll be receiving more information rolled out from both the building and district levels, but we are continuing to focus on improving students' sense of belonging through bringing a variety of student programs, family programs, and staff opportunities as well, so that everybody's reignited with the district after dealing with the aftermath of COVID. And our other commitment is to continue to strengthen and improve student relationships, both with their peers and with adults. So a lot of our initiatives will be centered around those two commitments this year. I also wanted to share that we're continuing to use IXL Learning to help students close their individual gaps in ELA and math. So you'll see your children hopefully talking about their use of IXL in the classroom, and children can also access that at home at any time. So on those nights where they say they have no homework, they can always log into IXL for individual practice on the skill areas that they have deficits in. And lastly, I just want to congratulate our 5 graduates that graduated last Friday. We had 5 students added to the class of 2022. We're really excited for them, and they're recognized on our social media pages.
Thank you. We'll move on to personnel resolutions for this evening. Under 5.1, upon the record.
Mr. President, I just had a comment on Kelly's report, if I may.
Yes.
Kelly, I just want to commend you. I was reading this report so many times. I mean, the report just came out that kids are 2 to 3 years behind in some levels in reading and math. And a lot of districts are doing testing and other things. I think the key here, and I commend you and the administration on this, I see in small groups, in workshops, one-on-one teacher support. And I think that's really the way we have to go with it. I know we're struggling finding staff in some issues, but I really think that's going to be a major help for our kids that are lagging a little bit behind. So congratulations on that. Sorry, Mr. President.
That's good. Thank you. Move on to personal resolutions. 5.1, upon the recommendation of superintendent of schools, be resolved the following substitute personnel be appointed for the 22-23 school year.
Move the list.
Second.
List has been moved and seconded. Discussion. All those in favor? Opposed? No one. Motion carries. 5.2, upon the recommendation of superintendent of schools, be resolved that the memorandum of agreements between the Ellenville Central School District and the ETS RPA Teachers Unit be approved as attached.
So moved.
Been moved.
Second.
Seconded. Discussion. All those in favor? Opposed? No one. 5.3, upon the recommendation of superintendent of schools, be resolved the memorandum of agreement between the Ellenville Central School District and the ETS RPA Teachers Unit?
No,
Excuse me.
no. You're on 5.3 cafeteria
I
monitor.
know I have it clicked and that's what came up.
The 2 memorandums are in one.
Technology is a wonderful thing. I'm just waiting to refresh.
Okay.
The two-
Yeah, it wasn't updating.
It's not updated, but
Yeah.
oh, I got it. It just came up. Upon the recommendation of Superintendent of Schools, be resolved that Carol Provenzano be appointed part-time cafeteria monitor at a rate of $16.45 per hour work.
So moved.
Been
Second.
moved and seconded. Discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? No one. Motion carries. 5.4, upon the recommendation of Superintendent of Schools, be resolved the co-curricular personnel set forth in the attached list be approved. Contractual rate for the 22-23 school year.
So moved. Second.
Moved and seconded. Discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? No one? Come on. 5.5, resolved that the Board of Education hereby amends the resolution as set forth as agenda item 6.5, 6.6 under personnel on the agenda of August 23rd, 2022 regarding the appointments of Nasasha Montez and Carol Avery as 1.0 full-time equivalent teacher aides be amended as follows. This is a 10-month civil service position.
So moved.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? No one. Motion carries. 5.6, resignation. Resolve the resignation of Angeles Onise as 10th grade advisor be accepted effective September 6, 2022.
So moved. Second.
Been moved and seconded. Discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? No one. Motion carries. Policy resolutions for this evening. Resolve that this be considered the second and final reading of Policy 3130, communicating with the community.
So moved.
Been moved.
Second.
Second. Discussion?
Point of information, Mr. President.
Yes.
Is it after the second reading when we can make motions to amend, or is it before the end? And can we
It's
make
before the
motions?
second and final.
It's before the second and final?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? If not, all those in favor? Opposed? No one? Motion carries. 6.2, resolve that this can be considered the second and final reading of Policy 3230, public complaints.
So moved.
Moved.
I like it. Second.
Second. Discussion? Mr. Burns?
I thought we had not completed our discussion on the wording of the change. I'd like to make a motion that we go back to what we talked about where it says all complaints will be accepted. It's all encompassing, it handles everything, and at the superintendent or administrator's discretion, they can handle it. I think it's still a dangerous road to go down, anonymous complaints, and so that's my motion. All complaints will be accepted.
You have a motion to amend the policy as read? Is there a second? Are you seconding?
I'm just not sure about the process. So we have to, this is tabled and we have to bring it back and then bring it back at the next meeting to approve? Or can we approve the change now and move on with it as a second reading?
Well, we have a board member that wants to amend the policy as written, and he's made a motion to do so. So this is not being tabled, he's making a motion to amend it.
So we can amend it and.
He wants to amend the words. So down at the bottom, if I'm correct, Mr. Burns, it says all complaints, including anonymous complaints, will be accepted. You want to change that to read all complaints will be accepted, take out the wording, including anonymous complaints.
That's correct.
That's the motion. It's been moved. Do I have a second? Do I have a second?
Under discussion, I'd also like to add, I brought up last week, the situation where a former employee was accused of something.
We have to have a second to it, and there's no second. to
There's
the
no
motion.
discussion.
Not yet. There's no second to it.
I'll second.
It's been seconded for the purposes of discussion, Mr. McQuillan?
Thank you.
Yes.
Okay.
I am, excuse me, I'm curious about the word anonymous, if it's going to allow the door to be open for anonymous complaints that don't have any weight to them. I'm not saying anonymous complaints won't have any reasons for such, but does that open the door for anything that has happened in the past? If we say all complaints, that kind of encompasses all complaints.
It's my belief that the wording all, and I think we're getting hung up here as a board on a couple of words here. But if we look at the actual definition of all, it's encompassing, it's everything. And I think that all covers everything. I think that, that the move is not it's not irresponsible or not reasonable, to just declare it all. I think all is encompassing. Anybody else? Are we good with the wording? Can we have a motion that's been amended? Are we good? I'm going to go around the board and just poll the board.
I have a question
Yep.
first, please. I just wanted to ask the superintendent if this was if the lawyers thought that this was the best way to present this. I have a little bit of a hard time accepting, because you need sufficient information regardless of where you get the complaint from. So,
Well, I think complaints have to be accepted, and then you have to determine if they're going to be investigated, if you have enough information to investigate them. So whether they're, all complaints should be accepted, and then we should look at what the information is, and if there is enough information to investigate. And then we have an obligation, according to the attorneys, to investigate a complaint. So
I'm asking for your opinion, I guess. So, all complaints
I think-
will be accepted as sufficient to cover your end of the responsibility and what
Yeah,
you're
I mean,
going to be dealing with?
we're anonymous or not, we're going to accept complaints, and we're going to determine if they should be investigated or not.
Okay. And John is asking for all complaints will be accepted.
We want to strike the words including anonymous complaints. It seems, and then replace that with just all complaints will be accepted. The wording is there. I agree with John. There's no reason to include that because all complaints, that's what it means, all complaints.
So
I see
this
no
will be a
difference.
second reading and we will be official if we
Right.
agree to do that.
We just strike that wording. It will be official.
Fine.
Poll the board. Mr. Burns? Yes or no? Danny?
Repeat the question again, please.
Your approval, your second to the motion that the wording will be all complaints will be accepted is yes,
Yes.
sufficient. Lisa Ramirez.
And just a point of information, that does not slow the process
Does
down.
not slow the process
So
down.
I'm fine with that, yes.
Thank you. Willie?
Yes.
Iris?
I'm okay with it.
Jody?
Yes.
Ethan?
Yes.
And I'm a yes. It's unanimous. Motion passes unanimously.
Second reading, done.
Second reading is final.
Mr. President, point of order, I think you said that would be a poll of the board, is the word you used. Do we need to take an official vote, or did you roll call it?
I just roll call it.
Okay, because you used the
I
word poll.
used the word poll. That was
Okay.
incorrect, but roll call.
All right, thank you.
Okay. Second and final reading of policy 5230. Resolved that this be considered the second final reading. Policy 5230, acceptance of gifts, grants, and bequests to the school district.
So moved.
Second,
Move to second discussion. All those in favor? Opposed? No one? Motion carries. Resolved that this be considered second and final reading of policy 7410, extracurricular activities.
so moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded discussion.
Point of information, Mr. President.
Yes.
Is an extracurricular activity something that's sanctioned by the school? Lisa, just give me what your impressions are of co-curriculars and extracurriculars.
I think those words are used synonymously.
Okay.
Co-curricular and extracurricular, so, and yes, we sanction them.
But yet it has in here that employees or agents of the school or government are present at religious meetings only in a non-participatory capacity. So if this is an event that is extracurricular and we have faculty or staff go, they can't participate? Is that my understanding?
Just taking a look, where are you?
I'm on the section
Well, it's
C, letter C, in the under limited open forum. I'm just not clear on what the parameters are here.
So I think that if you go to a religious meeting and you're going as a board member or an employee, you can participate, but you're participating, you can be present, but not participating.
Just a question then.
Yeah, we can clarify it.
I'm just an example. I'm at a meeting that is somewhat religious in nature. They say a prayer. At the end of it, I say amen. Am I participatory in that?
I think you have the freedom of religion to do that.
Okay,
So we'll
so,
clarify this.
okay,
Let me
it just
clarify.
is a little confusing to me.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
If we're going to clarify it, then we need the table. Cannot accept it as a second and final reading if there's going to be clarification.
Okay.
Motion to table.
Motion to table, is there a second?
I'll second it.
Second. Discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? No one? The motion is tabled. Budget resolutions for this evening. 7.1. Resolve the 2022 Treasurer's Report and Budget Detail Report be accepted as written.
So moved.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? No one? Motion carries. Resolved that the July 2022 Central Treasurer Report for extracurricular activities, including bank reconciliations, cash receipts, cash disbursements.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? No one? Moving on to education resolutions. Resolved that the attached list of student IEPs be acknowledged. There are 3.
Move the list.
Second.
This has been moved and seconded. Discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? No one? Motion carries. Under volunteers, this is a tabled motion that's been tabled twice. It's back for action tonight. Resolved that the following volunteer be approved for the 22-23 school year.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. 8.3. This is also a table motion. Resolved that the following volunteer be approved for the 22-23 school year pending the clearance of fingerprints.
So moved.
Been moved.
Second.
Seconded. Discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. Spanish Honor Society 8.4, resolved that the Spanish Honor Society be created and approved.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Discussion? Iris?
There's a section in in the proposal, and I'm not sure there are fees related to this. Is that a membership fee? So the students pay a membership fee to the national organization? Is that what this is? And does the school cover that, or? I've never known co-curricular to have fees,
The
so.
honor societies usually have fees if they belong to the national organization, and if they do, the district usually covers it.
Okay.
Or if it's an established fund, they could fundraise for it. But for those like our student council, we'd like them to be aligned with these organizations so they have access to information and bylaws and other things like that.
So this is not an unusual request then? There are other.
We have, this is a honor society specifically for,
Right.
for foreign language and participation in that. as you
Okay.
know.
Thank you.
John?
Refresh my memory, Madam Superintendent, did we appoint a person to lead this yet?
We did not. So the way the process is that we approve the club.
Right.
Tomorrow we'll post for the club, and then Miss Onise is the one that brought it forward. I'm assuming that she will apply for it, but we'll see if anyone else applies.
Thank you.
Any further discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? No one. Motion carries. Resolved that the radio club be created and approved.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Discussion? Iris?
So this radio club has existed for a long time already, hasn't it?
Yes, not formally, but they've done things not necessarily after school. My understanding is that Miss Mitchell has worked with News Crew after school, but they really want to branch out and do more as a radio club.
I mean, usually they have a production, I think, on Saturdays at 5:00. That's usually the time that they're broadcast, I think,
Their
right?
broadcast.
And
I
that will
think-
continue. That's
Yes.
part of what this is.
Yes.
Okay, very good. Thanks.
I think Dennis is smiling down on us right now.
Oh, big time. Yeah, I love this stuff.
Any further discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? No one. Motion carries. Resolved that a new course, Advanced Business Entrepreneurship, be approved as attached.
So moved.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? No one. Motion carries.
Can I just ask a question about that?
Yes.
I mean, it's just, Who is teaching this course? I know we've been trying to build up the business program and,
We're not sure yet. This is for the 23-24 school year.
oh, I see. Okay, I'm sorry, I must have
So
missed that.
We want it in place so that when we're budgeting and we're looking at 23-24, we look at all the business courses. We were talking about maybe expanding some courses and other things. So
Great,
more to come.
thank you.
Thank you. Moving on to 9.1, resolved that the 22-23 District Comprehensive Improvement Plan, known as VSIP, be modified as attached.
So moved.
Been moved,
Second?
seconded, discussion. All those in favor? Opposed? No one. Motion carries. 9.2, resolve the 22-23, excuse me, come on now, come back. All right, Vince, it's not going.
9.2?
I got it.
You want to read it here?
I got it. Resolved that the non-resident special education enrollment agreement between the Ellenville Central School District and the Roundout Valley Central School District for students.
Move the list.
The list has been moved,
Second.
seconded. Discussion. All those in favor? Opposed? No one? Motion carries. 9.3.9.
Motion to move 9.3, 9.4, and 9.5, all on shared
Second.
transportation
Been moved
contracts.
and seconded. Discussion. All those in favor? Opposed? No one. Motion carries. Our next meeting, mark your calendars, September 27th, 2022. Anybody want to see anything on the agenda at the next meeting? Jody?
Can we schedule a walkthrough for the buildings?
Sure. It was a busy week last week, so lots going on, so we didn't get to it. But we will definitely do it in the near future.
Thank you.
Anybody else? If not, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Moved,
Second.
seconded, discussion. All those in favor? Opposed? No one? We're adjourned.
All right.